Welcome or welcome back to my channel, Dripping in Alchemy. My name is Starr. Today I'm going to enter into the space with a white sage incense. And I am again going to open up with a little bit of sound. So sound is still very, very, very important. And I'm going to share Amity's channel again in the description because she's got some beautiful sound healings that I think will be very helpful for this collective. So please do check the description for that. Thank you again, Amity. Such a soul, such a beautiful, beautiful soul and soul sister, and I very much appreciate you. 55 on the clock there, and I suddenly felt very sad. I suddenly felt very sad coming to sit down, and I'm being told to share something quite close to my heart. And my grandmother actually gave me this a few months ago, and not too long ago, a few weeks ago, we were all saying our goodbyes. We very much felt like she was coming to her end of life. She is 97, so you know she's had a good run, but we thought that it was coming to the end, and some way, somehow, you know, she's still with us and she is as healthy and as lively as can be. So we're trusting her process, and I very much felt like I saw her decide to stay a little bit longer. But I was very grateful for this present because she gave me this, and as she gave me this, she gave me much more than she could imagine, because this holds a lot of information for me that I'm not going to share on here, 151 on the clock here, but there was a lot of understanding that stepped forward with this. So I'm sharing that because I think that some might be questioning where they are right now, you know, what has truly been happening, perhaps for you, for your family lineage, and where to go next. And like I said, I just felt like this wave of sadness. And you know, the grief that is felt from losing a soul that you care about is like nothing else, whether it be, you know, a fur baby or a human being. Having that soul transition is such a pain that you can't put into words unless you've been through it yourself. So we might be delving into aspects of grief today. So again, if you don't feel ready to delve into that, then perhaps pause this for another day. But I did bring in the feathers again, but I switched them around, 242 on the clock there. So there's something in switching places. And I felt the strongest message step forward from the Most High before sitting down. And I thought, do you really want me to share that? And they said yes. And this idea of, if you are gifted something that you believed was yours, and you mishandled it, you know, the Most High doesn't take too lightly to that. So they're saying that everything is being put back into its rightful space. And I was literally hearing the phrase, you know, no one hurts my baby. No one hurts my baby. So take from that what you will, whoever needs to hear that, but just know that you are so protected and supported. And if you've ever felt like you've been left behind for whatever reason from the divine, you know that they're coming for you. They're coming for you, and nothing has been lost, is what I'm feeling called to share. So we're just gonna, again, just take a minute. Please just ground yourself. Please put feet on the ground if you can. And we're just gonna ask for all cords that no longer need to be here be cut from your energy, so that you know what you still feel is of the highest vibration for you, and keep seeking that is of the highest vibration for you, that which your spirit guides and teams are aligning you towards, because you chose your blueprint here. And there's very much something about choice right now, and this being important for some. And you can trust what you feel, you can trust where you are right now. And perhaps it's been a long journey, you know, myself included in this, where I had to make some pretty tough decisions for myself in order to feel safe, and that's okay. So trust where you are right now, because you've done it out of safety for some, and that's completely okay. But I do have some oracle, some tarot, and some more oracle that I'm going to end on today. And it's really blustery outside, and this card just jumped out at me. We are nature, becoming grounded, embodied, and living in connection. And I feel like this is where 454 on the clock there, this is where some need to come back to right now. It's a space of grounding. It's a space of really being with self, communicating with your body, with where you are, because I think that the road has gotten very weary for some, and I think this was the sadness that I was feeling when I sat down. It just felt like such a wave over me, and like it had come out of nowhere. We've got the Mystic Rose: compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. And I pulled a card earlier for myself, which is about devotion. Let me grab it. It's desire, but there is another card that's devotion. So there's something about desire and devotion. Tuberose and desire. Be certain of where you place your passion. And I think this has gotten some in trouble in the past. So you're now having to really decide and tune into what feels good to you, and also what is here for your highest good. Because, you know, some things that just feel good to, let's say, the flesh isn't good for the soul. And I think this is where some have been understanding that truly. Healing the motherline, healing ancestral work, motherline, and growing up. And this is definitely why I brought forward my grandmother, because it's my grandmother from my mother's side that I was just speaking about, who I do actually call Mama, and I'm being called to share that as well. So if you've been going through a lot, if you know that you've been here to be, you know, the generational curse breaker, go easy with self right now, because I think you are grieving versions of you, versions of others that perhaps you're holding so tightly onto, because that was your blueprint before, and you've grown and gained so much that now your blueprint has, what shall we say, transformed. And I'm really having trouble trying to get the words into my mouth today, everyone, so please bear with me. But I feel like this is a confirmation of where some of you are. It's like things just aren't quite connecting like they used to, and it's because things are being recalibrated for you. So please don't panic, is what I want to say. And trust where you are being guided and what you feel. And for some of you right now, all you have to do is just feel and let go. And this might be something that, you know, you feel like you've just been at for months, weeks, years. I can completely resonate with this, but there is a divine method to the madness. And perhaps you feel like you have been in divine madness for some time. And I'm hearing that this is a reassurance message of that madness is getting you to where you need to be, but perhaps it is really getting to you, which is why, you know, being in nature is a great thing. Nature is the most purest form of energy that we can receive of us. So if things feel completely chaotic, please go and get in nature. And it was a very dear soul that told me to go and sit under a tree when I was going through one of the most chaotic ascensions of my life. And it really did just bring me back to life. And now I'm hearing Evanescence bring me back to life, which came through in another reading. Was it personal? No, that came through in another reading over here. So I am going to share that in the description again. And I've been hearing lots of old songs of late, lots of old emo songs that I really love. So there's something about getting into that emotional stance right now. And I was drawn to bring this wand in that actually broke in transit from a dear soul sister that sent this to me. And there's something like, your magic's not broken. To whoever that needs to resonate for, your magic's not broken. And, you know, depending on where I place this, you wouldn't know the difference. And perhaps this is the truth and the opposite also of that. Something which you thought was whole, now that you've got into the core of it, you now see it's not as whole as you once thought. And I think that can be really shocking to the system. And before sitting down, I was thinking about a time where a space that I was in once felt the most like home to me. And then all of a sudden, I looked around and I couldn't have felt any less safe in my life. And I had to leave. And I uprooted, I uprooted and I left a whole entire life somewhere because I knew it wasn't for me. And I feel like that was one of the bravest things that I've ever done in my life. And for months, weeks, years, I wake up and I think, did I do the right thing? But I would always know in my heart that I did. No matter how difficult life was getting, I just knew that I couldn't have stayed where I was because my heart just wasn't there anymore. So I want to share this as an encouragement, to souls that have also too done that and been on that path and know that how do I want to phrase this? Being here and being free is your reward for making those moves. You might not know where you want to go, what you want to do, but being able to have that freedom to decide and to be in that confusion is a gift in itself. And the minute that I started to look at my life through this lens, that's the minute that I realized that I had everything that I'd ever asked for. The freedom to roam through this world, totally free. And somewhere I'd always been seeking that in my life. I just didn't have the words to put that into notion. I'm being drawn to gnosis here. So this idea of now using your alchemy to create the world that you want to exist in. And perhaps you're not quite there yet. Perhaps you're at this breaking point, this tipping point. You know, things look good, and now all of a sudden it's shattered. And this continues to happen, you know, no matter where we are. There's always something that shifts, that moves, that is perhaps taken away for whatever reason, is transformed. And that just lessens and lessens in terms of our emotional roller coasters with it all. 11:13 on the clock there. And life is always going to throw challenges at you, and specifically if you know that you are connected in being here, because this paradigm, you know, it just wasn't built for us to be living in the ways that we want to. So there's always going to be pushback, which is why it's so important to be embodied here, so that when the time comes for those shifts, you know how to deal with it in the best and healthiest way for you and those around you. And I think that some have been really having to build up the stamina to share that true stance of, what's the word? Can I say that? Unf-withable. It's like, you know now. You know that you are F-withable. Unf-withable. Yes, I'm trying to make sure I say PC so I don't get flagged. You are unf-withable. And you should be proud of that. And I think some are now just starting to be proud of self again. So I want to shift into an energy of boosting you up where you are. Yeah, you've got the magician. You are the magician. You are the magi. You can trust in you. Yeah, and this card flipped out as I was shuffling earlier. The 10 of Cups. Something about Divine Mother Rose here. And Mother Mary stepping forward with that 10 of Cups. Perhaps that's I want to say a pillar of light that you want to connect to. And then we've got the Lovers. Oh, I love this. I love this. Oh. For some, you hold such love, and it's just like, I don't know where to give it. I don't know where to give it. And it's coming through so sweet and so preciously, and almost like a little child, you know, like they're in the playground and I don't know, perhaps they've not been chosen to be on the team, to be played with, and they're just looking around like, oh, like, why does no one want to play with me? Oh, it's making me want to cry. And I think this is how some feel. You're like, oh, like, okay, what do I do with me now? What do I do with me and with my beautiful energy? And that soul tribe is coming in for you, so trust that. Trust that the love that you've been seeking is coming towards you. And it's going to show up in divine right time. Wow, you can't make this up. The 2 of Cups. Yeah. The love that you've always been seeking is coming towards you. And for some, you just don't see this coming. Yeah, you've been looking for love in all the wrong places. And you've been having to work through childhood wounds to be able to see this clearly, what true love means. Yeah, and for some, maybe you're in this phase of hermiting and working through this phase here. Maybe you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, some things don't feel quite right anymore. So take that time to be alone right now. Don't fill that void, you know, with others' energy. And we can so easily get hooked into this cycle of filling a void with others. And then we just pull in all of their energy. And we just create all of this karma together that we have to work through. And, you know, I did this time and time and time again until it was like, no more. Like, no more. I need to just be with me. Yeah, and I spent some time alone. And it's interesting because I've never looked at this card properly, and I did aerial yoga for the first time on Monday, and now I see this card differently because I've realized that she is in aerial position. So that's really hilarious. Yeah, something new, something you didn't expect. perhaps has just pinged to someone's mind right now. And I love being upside down. There's always been something about it that I found very freeing. So when I did aerial yoga, I was like, oh, this is something that I've been missing that I didn't know that I needed in my life. So there was something about that. Perhaps you've just realized something, some form of expression, some form of desire that you didn't know that you had before. Perhaps because your energy wasn't stable enough to be able to see the differentiations between a break in a cycle, you know, childhood trauma, what true love really means to you, and your idea of magic of gnosis, of alchemy. Perhaps you've only just started to understand that, yeah, and it's being very much highlighted to you now. Where to take yourself. Yeah. Don't hold on to anything too tightly. I feel like this might be a stage that some are at right now, and it's because of fear. It's because of fear and not quite stepping into full rainbow energy, I like to call it. You're still kind of in apathy of what has been and not looking at the cup that's being gifted to you. I'm hearing don't make any sudden movements with the Chariot here, and White Pony is still coming forward, and I realized I didn't tag that in yesterday's video, which I will in the description. White Pony by Deftones is going to mean something to someone. Yeah, you need to take a road trip down memory lane, I'm hearing. Yeah, and that's going to bring in your options. For someone, you need to go to spaces that you dare not go. And I feel like this is in the mindscape. Yeah, the infinity. Going back down into shadow. And I feel like you might be in the northern hemisphere like I am. And we're coming into summer season. But this shadow energy has just been rushing forward. And then we've got death and rebirth. Yeah, you're just on the precipice of stepping forward into something new. So please tread carefully and take care of self, everyone that is here. Yeah, because you're trying to find the balance between mind, body, spirit, soul, ether, source. I'm hearing it goes on and on and on. So we have to make those decisions to take those pauses. Yeah, to take those breaks, to go away if we need to. Yeah, there's something about having to trust. Yeah, trust yourself. Sound the alarm. Trust yourself. There's something indecisive action right now. Yeah, because the 10 of Pentacles, it's like, it's just around the corner. 1731. It's just around the corner. And some know this too. So be certain of where you place your passion. Like for some, it's like, please tread carefully. I can't say that any clearer yet because your heart is like so ready to burst open and align. And for some of you, you just want to rush forward, and teams are saying, take some time. Be in stillness, truly understand your energy so that you know exactly what to walk towards, because you could start a cycle again that you don't want to, and that feels so strong. Yeah, some things aren't supposed to be resurrected. I almost feel like I want to put another card on top of that. Yeah, Page of Swords. Go back to the drawing board before you step forward. Oh, yeah. Something about a light bulb. Something about a light bulb is significant. Maybe a light bulb moment that is yet to come. And I'm being drawn to... I've completely forgotten what this crystal is called. Oh, my word. My mind. I want to say water agate, and it's not that. It's gone. You'll know. Everyone that is here, you'll know. Forgiveness and understanding. And perhaps for some, you're having to forgive yourself right now for the spaces that you thought were home that truly aren't. And you're now starting to see that. And it's okay. You know, there's lessons that we all have to learn here. Yeah, keep cutting the cords. And this is something that I just continue to do over here, 1911. So there's something about that. Cut the cords so that you know what is in highest vibration for you. Yeah, composure. There's something in being balanced right now. And I'm being drawn to how these two magician cards, like these magi stances. Fire and air. Fire and air, don't fall into despair, I heard. Interesting. So yeah, don't fall into despair. Whoever is here, it's not a nice energy to be in. Intuition and downloads. Yeah, just wait to receive. Some of you, you're panicking because you wanted an answer now. Yesterday, I'm hearing, and teams are like, it's just not time. So trust in the pause. If you feel like things have slowed down, if you feel like things have halted, have stopped in your space, or I don't know, there's like distance between you and potentially even you and your spirit guides, it's because cords are being cut from spaces that you no longer wish to commune with. So composure is needed to bring in intuition in the highest degree for you, and more downloads that are going to resonate with this angelic frequency. Yeah, you can trust in that. And like, I'm just hearing like an angelic chorus behind the scenes. And I knew that I was going to say, you know, if you feel called to have angel healing with me, please do step forward. How to contact me is in the description below. But there's something in this angelic vibration that is stepping towards you, but you have to be still enough in order to receive. 2040 on 40:41 on the clock there. And that actually, again, that cut my throat chakra. Yeah, for someone it's like, maybe you feel like your throat has been plaguing you, or you can't speak right now. For someone, you feel like you can't speak, that's okay. Trust in the silence. I'm hearing that Depeche Mode song that I will also tag in the description. There's something that I can't say. There's something that I can't say. There's something that someone else can't say. But words don't need to be spoken. Everything is understood through intuition and downloads. And I feel like this is all the collective here. You don't need to say a word. What you need to understand is going to come to you in mind, with eyes closed, and remaining composed and cutting cords from that which no longer serves you. And whatever is brought from that space, you know is an alignment for you. And then you can trust it. Yeah, this is about trust. This is about trust in the divine path, in your knowing, in your intuition, in, I want to say, God's plan. But the angels are helping right now, so call upon them. And if you would like to work with me in angelic frequency, I'm here for that. Yeah, something in the stillness, in the silence. Yeah, be still enough to listen. But I'm going to call it here, everyone. Yeah, I feel very still and at peace, and I hope that you all feel that too. So I'll be back again when it feels aligned. I don't feel like tomorrow. It might be next week now. So I'll see you then. Take care.